Good morning.
Bonjour et merci d'assister à cette conférence de presse
Thank you
pour
for coming to attend
les
this
filles
press
du soleil,
conference on the Girls of the
le
Sun.
deuxième long métrage d'Eva Husson. On va
Second
laisser les photographes
feature
faire leur
film
travail
of Eva
quelques instants.
Husson. We'll let the
Avant que je vous
photographers go about
présente
their work for a few minutes before
tous les
I
invités à cette
introduce
table.
all the guests at the table.
Bien, merci. Alors, juste à ma gauche,
To my
la
immediate
productrice
left,
du
we have
film,
the
Didar
producer of the
Domerri,
film, Didar Domerri,
franco-iranienne,
who's
qui est à la tête de sa
Franco-Iranian.
société Maniki, est venue plusieurs fois à Cannes,
Company's Maniki. She's been to
notamment
Cannes
avec 7
several
jours à la
times
Havane, Éléphant de
with
Blanco
Seven
et El
Days in
President qui ont été
Havana,
présentés à un certain
and
regard.
other films at
Paulina, la semaine de la
Regard,
critique,
and Paulina
Les Filles du
at the
Soleil est
Semaine
son
de la
premier
Critique,
film
the
en
Critics'
compétition
Week.
et elle avait produit
The
le
Girls of
premier
the
film
Sun
d'Eva
is
Husson,
the first in
Bang
competition,
Gang,
and she also
une
produced
histoire d'amour moderne. Ça
Bang
demande juste
Gang,
petit
a
peu de
modern love
réflexion pour
story
ne
by
pas se tromper dans le
Husson.
À l'extrémité de la table,
On the
la
other end of the
comédienne
table, we have
d'origine
the
allemande et
actress,
kurde,
she's German and
Zubaidi
Kurdish,
Bulut,
Zubaidi Bulut,
qui a fui son pays et
fled
s'est
her
exilée en
country
Allemagne
and went
à
into
l'âge de
exile
3
in
ans.
Germany at the age
Et
of
elle
3.
a suivi des cours d'art dramatique à Berlin. et
She
elle a
studied
commencé
the
sa
dramatic
carrière
arts in Berlin and began her career
à
in
ses
Berlin.
côtés.
Next to
Emmanuel
her, we
Berco,
have
qui
Emmanuel
connaît Cannes comme
Berco,
sa poche,
who
puisqu'elle y
is
est
a
venue
familiar
à la
face
fois
at
comme
Cannes.
actrice et comme
She's come
réalisatrice.
as an actress and as a
Comme
director.
réalisatrice, elle y a
As
présenté
an actress, she
ses
was here
courts-métrages, Les Vacances,
with
en compétition en
Les Vacances
97.
in competition in
À la
97.
Fondation avec La Puce,
La
Un
Puce,
certain regard avec Clément, et en 2015,
Léman,
elle a
de
fait
certains
l'ouverture du
regards,
festival
and
avec La Tête
2015,
haute.
La
Comme
Tête
actrice,
Haute,
elle est
which
venue avec
opened
La
the
Classe de
festival.
Neige
As
en
an actress,
98,
she came with La
Police,
Classe
bien
de
sûr, en
Neige,
2011,
Police in
et bien sûr,
2011,
Mon Roi,
and of course
2015, qui lui a
Mon
valu
Roi
le prix
in
d'interprétation.
2015, for which she got a Best Actress
À côté de la
award.
productrice,
Next to the
Golshifteh
producer,
Farahani,
we have Golshifteh
actrice,
Farahani.
d'origine iranienne.
She's
de
an Iranian
nationalité française
actress.
et
She
iranienne.
holds French
De la même
and
manière
Iranian
qu'elle a la double
nationality. She has
elle
dual
Elle
nationality
mélange les genres
and
cinématographiques, passant d'un
also
blockbuster à un film d'auteur.
acts in many different films.
Elle tourne aussi bien avec Jarmusch qu'avec
Art house
Sidi
films,
Garrett.
blockbusters.
On la voit aussi bien dans
She's
Pirates des
worked
Caraïbes,
in the
dans les
Pirates
films
of the
d'Arsène
Caribbean, with Jarmusch, with all sorts of different people. Welcome to Cannes.
Et au centre de la table,
And in the middle of the table, we have Eva Husson. This is her second feature film after Bang Gang, a modern love story. This is the first time a film of hers has been in competition.
Très différent du premier.
It's a film that's very different from the first one.
Qu'est-ce qui vous
A question, Eva.
conduit à vous intéresser à ce sujet?
Why did you take an
de ces
interest in this
bataillons de femmes
topic, these
kurdes?
battalions of Kurdish women?
C'est en fait. Vous entendez pas là parce que j'ai l'impression que ça s'entend bien quand même. Il y a deux raisons principales.
There are two main reasons.
Je suis petite fille de soldats
I am the
républicains.
granddaughter of a
Mon père
Republican
a fui,
soldier.
le fascisme
My
et
grandfather
Franco,
fled fascism under Franco in
Dans l'exil
1939.
des républicains, il a traversé la frontière,
He
il est
crossed
arrivé
the
en camp de
border
concentration
and ended up in a concentration camp
Et,
in France on the French
j'ai une histoire
side.
familiale très très chargée.
I have a heavily loaded family history in terms of struggling against
Guerre
fascism.
fraternelle, puisque mon
There were
grand-oncle,
many fratricidal wars. My great uncle was an anarchist.
qui est le parti dont parle Ken Loach dans Land and Freedom. quand
He
il
was
arrive
in
en
the
France,
movement
et,
portrayed by Ken Loach in one of his films. He was a communist.
La deuxième raison étant
So there were sort of enemy brothers in my family.
cette histoire de femmes
Also,
kurdes qui étaient donc
there was this tale of Kurdish women who were captured, who escape, and then who turn into soldiers. Well, it struck me as quite an extraordinary story.
elle montrait ce
They show tremendous strength.
refus d'être réduite
They refused to be turned into servile beings. They reconquer their dignity. And they have this idea that victory entails a struggle. That's a key idea, the idea that fighting in itself is a form of victory. I read a number of articles on these women, and this struck me right away. I talked about the topic to Didar right away. And I'd been sharing my thoughts with her for some time, and we kept saying, well, this isn't right. But she immediately said, okay, let's forge ahead, go buy a pair of jeans and go and research things in the field. And when you were researching this on the spot, what really struck you most? Seeing people, seeing women who were sold 14 times over in less than a year, who were sex slaves but managed to escape. There was that woman who gave birth when she was in captivity. That inspired what you see in the film. This conveys such huge strength, and this feeling nourished us all. I wanted, therefore, to convey this story. It's important to talk about women. There aren't many stories of women portrayed in the film industry for reasons we are all familiar with. And I think, on the contrary, we should see more women on the big screen. Golshifteh, you opted for exile. In one of your preceding films, we saw the Kurdish cause. What touched you most in this character? Everything. The story of these Yazidi women is something I heard about for years and years, and it's wonderful that someone should tell this story. When Eva came to see me and told me what she wanted to do, I was thunderstruck. I thought, oh, finally, someone is actually going to do something, is going to tell this story. It's a real example of women who experienced terrible situations. They were raped, they were sold, they were tortured, yet they refuse the status as victims. I think that's the link between me and these women. I have never accepted the status of victim in the Western world. People keep talking about victims. Women are victims. Women, migrants, women in exile, they're victims. I have never sensed that kind of thing. I always felt that I was very much here and that I was strong. That's my link with the character. Emmanuel? You're the only Western character, basically, in this film. You're a war reporter. Have you ever met war reporters? Did you meet any before the film? Yes, I did. I met one.
J'ai rencontré Xavier Munz,
who advised Eva when she was writing the screenplay and became her friend. I was fortunate to meet him before the shooting of the film, and that was very important for me. Eva wanted me to watch documentaries and reportages. Marie Goldwyn is one of the very famous war reporters, and she indeed wore a patch over her eye.
Mais moi, en fait, tout ça, c'était difficile à appréhender parce
que it was quite difficult to understand all this for me.
Les gens qui font ce métier-là,
people who do that kind of job are so very courageous. It's hard to portray that. It's hard to embody it. It's something that's too great. So I focused on more down-to-earth things, and Xavier was able to answer all my questions.
Soit vraiment de pure logistique, comment ils s'habillent,
qu'est-ce qu'ils mangent, these people dress, what do they eat, when they're waiting for days and days for the combat to resume.
Le rapport à la famille aussi, est-ce que quand ils disent au
in
revoir à
terms of
ses
the
enfants,
family, when I said when you say goodbye to your family, when you leave Paris, do you think that maybe you'll never come back one day? I asked him about fear, about how he viewed death, because
la journée, voilà, des choses comme ça très concrètes
qui m'ont aidé à croire que
all the time
on the battlefield, and I thought I'll try to slip into my character by focusing on these very simple details. Zubaide, why was it important for you to be in this film?
Well, my situation is really very special. So I'm a true Yazidi. And I was very happy when Bahija wrote me an email to cast me. And I was very, very glad. I was very proud of Eva that somebody is doing a movie about the Yazidi situation of the people, because it's not funny. And when I was 3, we flew to Germany because of the war, and now I'm 31, and it's until now actual. So it didn't stop, and somebody has to say this story, and I'm very, very happy that it's a woman, by the way. Thank you so much.
La première question.
Bonjour. David Sanderson from the Times of London. It's a question for Eva on Mary Colvin. Can you speak a bit about her legacy, her life, and how her spirit were channeled into the film?
I read a lot about her.
Vous pouvez répondre en français.
Ah, pardon. Je peux ou je dois?
C'est comme vous voulez, mais comme j'ai dit que ça allait se passer en français.
I did announce that the press conference would be taking place in French, so many people don't have headsets in the room. Sorry for trying to answer your question in English. I'll go back to French, therefore.
J'ai beaucoup lu, je me suis beaucoup documentée sur Mary Colvin parce qu'elle a attiré
I
l'attention.
read up a lot on Mary Collins.
Qui était...
I wanted to know
J'ai cherché de
who exactly she was. I was looking for women war reporters, and there were 2 names which struck me. Martha Gellhorn
Mary Colvin.
and Mary Collins.
Et toutes les deux
And both of
ont des
them
parcours de vie extraordinaires.
led extraordinary lives. They're extraordinarily people. They're people who are bigger than nature, kind of thing, bigger than real. They're incredible. They have great humor in the face of incredible tragedy. So I drew inspiration from all this
Incarner, donner corps aux personnages féminins.
when I built up my female characters. I had a lot of contemporary data from war reporters.
Ce que c'était qu'être reporter de guerre femme, je l'ai
But,
pas pris par les écrits de Marie et Martha.
read what Mary and Martha had written in order to understand what it was like to be a woman war reporter. In my film, I wanted to pay tribute to the war reporter who died in Homs.
En fait, c'est la scène, pardon, c'est dans la vraie vie, c'est le moment où Mary Colvin est décédée.
Real life, it's the day Mary Collins, after an attack against a journalist in Homs.
Et là, dans le film, elle.
That's a turning point. And in the film, she stays in the field in order to continue to bear testimony.
It's Aram Bolampas from Iran International. Congratulations, especially that you're the only French female in the competition. My question is for Goldschifter. For 14 years ago, you acted in The Tear of the Cold, and you played Ronak, a Kurdish Iranian girl. Now, as an actress, how would you say the difference between Kurdish Iranian, Kurdish Syrian, and Kurdish Iraqi women? What is their struggles, and how different is their struggles?
I get the difficult questions always. It's mine. The politic comes to me. First of all, I'm very happy that you're here. Je dois répondre en français. Alors, I have to answer in French. I'm so sorry. Mais je préfère en anglais. Non. Comme je veux. Non. Ça va si je réponds en anglais?
Is it all right if I give my answer in English?
Si ça va pas, dites-moi.
If it's not okay, please tell me.
Okay, ça va.
Sinon, vous pouvez toujours récupérer des casques. Mais...
Otherwise, you can pick up headsets, of course.
So it's very funny because I did my first movie. I was 19 in Iran, and I played a Kurdish shepherd. And since I played 5 more time Kurdish characters, and I'm not Kurdish, I'm Kurdish in heart, I think. And I think for me, there is no separation with frontiers. It's a story of women. Women asking for liberation, women asking for what they want to wear, women asking for having choices. Well, not being tortured and raped is out of question, because these women, they live something just beyond imagination. But But for me, all the characters I live, I really don't see them. I see them beyond their frontiers. For me, frontiers, they don't really exist, especially as women, men, even myself. Now I'm the citizen of the world. I don't have any more roots, but my roots are growing into heart of people, into art, into cinema, into creation. But I guess all these women, most of the women I have been playing, they were somewhere asking for some kind of liberation, which I think in the beginning of the shooting, I was sitting working and I had this very deep feeling of pain. And I asked myself, what am I carrying in myself? And what is the story? Where did I choose to become this symbol of liberty, symbol of Jeanne d'Arc, all these things that they have been projected on me? And I felt the pain of my mother, the pain of my grandmother and my great-grandmothers. And I thought if all of us, we look at our mothers and grandmothers, somewhere they were living some kind of injustice, inequality, somewhere they want to be liberated. And I thought, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to liberate my ancestors, myself, and to not to pass this pain to my child to come, to my daughter, so that we are going to have a free world, free women, free men, it doesn't matter, free of ignorance, not free of men or like any separation. It's free of ignorance to have a better world, to also free our planet, because the planet is also female. It's earth. We put grain in the earth. So all this pain we are causing to women, that is the same pain we're causing to our planet. And until we don't respect female, we won't be able to respect our planet, and we're gonna die. We're gonna instinct, and that's it. So I think the first step is to respect mothers, sisters, where we come from, where this DNA coming from the spinal core of all our mothers, we carry this information, men and women. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Just respect the earth,
Monsieur.
respect women.
Hi, my name is Marcus. I'm from Swedish Television. First, I want to say thank you for a great movie. My question also goes to Ms. Ferrani. What did it mean to you to be a part of such an important story?
It means a lot, and I feel a lot of responsibility. I always feel responsible, because I think being an artist, we should all feel responsible, because we are putting traces in the world, traces that are not like on sand. It's traces on stone. It's not something that is gonna evaporate in time or is gonna come out with a wave. So I feel responsible, and I feel honored, because I think these women, they need to be honored for what they live and what they become. This woman that was my inspiration, that son, our manager, I mean, he was somehow our key. Few cities was liberated by this commander woman. She exists. She freed these cities. And it's true that these Daesh people, they think if they die by a woman, they won't go to paradise. So they're terrified of women. They're more afraid of women. Son was saying when they were going into cities, they were just making sound. Women, they were making sound, and they were hiding because they didn't want to be killed by a woman. So they were terrified. And for me, it's a true honor, and we really try to be responsible, and I feel the weight, and I feel that we can just pass the message, and I feel responsible.
Monsieur.
Bonjour à tous, merci pour le film.
Thank you very much for your film.
Une question pour Madame Husson.
I have a question for Mrs. Husson.
C'est vrai que c'est une histoire extraordinaire.
It's true that this is an extraordinary experience, the tale of this Kurdish woman.
C'est très difficile de connaître des
It's
nouvelles
very difficult to get real news about this aspect of the conflict as well. The history of the Kurdish people hasn't yet had a happy end. On the contrary, there has been a general sense of complicity in terms of attacking the Kurdish people.
peut nous donner des renseignements.
Maybe Mrs. Bouloud could tell us more about the current situation.
Je pense que ce qui se passe avec le peuple kurde est
I
une
think
honte et un
that
scandale.
what is happening to the Kurds is scandalous. We bear huge responsibility in the Western world in this respect. I feel ashamed at the way the Western world has behaved. I don't understand
Sans qui Daesh serait toujours au pouvoir.
how Daesh can have been in power for so long, how the Kurdish people have been relegated to the sidelines in terms of international negotiations.
Malheureusement, dans un film, il y a des
Unfortunately,
choix à
in the
faire
film, you have to make certain choices.
qui sont justes, qui sont importantes. Mon désir premier dans ce film, c'était
My initial desire in the film was to talk about these women, and I wanted to focus on them.
Mais je partage de tout cœur
However,
la
I
peine
fully
du peuple kurde.
share the pain of the Kurdish people.
Maybe if you want to add something.
Yes, it's really terrible what is happening in the world. And it's not since yesterday, so it's since, I don't know how many years, 500, 1,000 years. The Yazidi people are almost, they cannot be Yazidi, and it's not, this religion is not bad. I mean, they are really nice people, so I don't know why they don't accept them. But I hope it will, one day it will stop. I think it's really enough. I mean, my mother's generation and the mother from my mother's generation and before and before and before and now me, it's not finished now. So it's really terrible.
Si je peux me permettre, le peuple yézidi qui
The Yazidi people
a vécu la tragédie du 3 août 2014 où
has experienced this tragedy since 2014, as you see in the film. 500,000 people had to flee the area overnight,
ou 74e génocide de leur
and it
histoire.
was the 73rd or 74th genocide in their history. This people has been persecuted from time immemorial,
Ne trouve pas,
and
pas de paix.
it has not been able to live in peace. We also talk about the Kurdish people.
Des membres d'équipe qui sont
Some
là, qui se
members of
battent
the crew of the team are
pour des
here,
années,
and they've been
génération après
fighting for
génération.
years, generation
Moi, je
after
trouve-
generation.
j'espère que le monde
I
va
do hope
finalement
that the
trouver une
world will
solution pour
finally
cette,
find a solution
région du monde,
for this
que
region
ce
of the
peuple-là peut vraiment
world
vivre en paix,
so that the peoples
et
can live in peace there
en sécurité.
and
Tu veux ajouter quelque chose,
feel
Shaida?
safe. Shaida, did you want to add
I can
anything?
say that I think there will never, there's all the time hope. They are fighting and fighting and fighting. So, and this is really very respectful for the Yazidi women, especially. They are so powerful, they don't give up. Wow.
On va passer le micro juste devant et après on reviendra à vous pour poser la question.
Donc Shaida a donc été consultante sur le film.
Shaida was a consultant, a cultural consultant in the film,
Culturelle sur le film et elle a aussi coaché
and she also coached
en Sorani, qui est le dialecte kurde.
Golshifteh when it came to the Kurdish dialect.
Bonsoir. Shaida Eslami, je suis aussi
I
fondatrice d'une organisation
also
qui s'appelle
founded an organization
Humanitaire et Journaliste.
called Humanitarian Aid and Journalism. We want to help Yazidi women through photojournalism. We have Yazidi families who are turning into journalists, the idea being to tell their own story. I was deeply touched by the story in this film. When Eva in 2016 told me about the project, when she talked about her vision and her strategy, the way she wanted to create a real film for the cinema, the way she wanted to tell a story which was very political, granted, but it's a story that depicts three different categories of women who are very important in the region. We have these women who are Yazidi women who are victims. They are currently living in a world that's not easy. Either they're captives, and I think there are over 3,000 Yazidi women who are still captives, held by Daesh. There are others who have survived. They live in camps in very difficult situations. And there's another category of women, and I felt it was very important to talk about them in the film. I'm talking about the presence of this journalist who wants to play her part as a journalist. Journalism is very important today when it comes to talking about all these stories, about telling people the truth. And in this film, we portray a truth, and the journalist wants to convey this truth while risking her life. And we also talk about these Kurdish combatants, these Kurdish women who are fighting Daesh, who are fighting a war which is not easy. And then you have all these Yazidi children as well, who have been taken captive by Daesh. These aren't easy matters to deal with. I was very pleased to be part of the project, very pleased indeed, because we pay tribute to 3 categories of women, and I identify with them. I work in this area. I believe that everybody here, all the very young Yazidi girls, the people from Georgia and elsewhere, all the actors. We have a Kurdish actor who left his country 30 years ago because he did a film with Yilmaz Güday and he can't return to Turkey. And 38 years later, here she is in Cannes. I think the story behind this film is just beginning now and will last for a long time. Yesterday, there was a huge demonstration by women in Cannes, a feminist movement, and I was very pleased to belong to this demonstration. It's a wonderful initiative when it comes to upholding women's rights. Let's not forget that the Kurds have been massacred in Iran, Iraq, and Turkey. But let's set politics aside. We're here for life, for women, and for freedom. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, sir?
Brigitte de France-Arménie Magazine.
Brigitte, France-Arménie, thank you very much for your film and congratulations.
Dans vos recherches,
when you were researching the topic, you have all these Kurdish and Yazidi women. Why do you think they took up arms to fight? For political reasons. There's a very important character called Calan amongst the Kurdish fighter. She's been a political prisoner in Turkey for many years now. This person shaped a Marxist, a feminist doctrine because she felt that society couldn't be really freed so long as women aren't free. Kurdish society is very patriarchal, run by men. And now there are training camps for men and women. Lessons in feminism are given. You can see some of the men in the film. They don't look really accustomed to talking to women, but they grow used to it. These Kurdish fighters are very political. I didn't want to go too far in my film in that respect, but their taking up this cause is very special. Of course, people have talked a lot about the political message in the film, but it's also a film for the cinema. You're very close to the daily life of these women and their fight and the conflict in your film, yet at the same time, there's almost a mythological dimension. The film is almost an epic film, and at the end, there is a sort of an appeal. Did you talk a lot with Eva in this respect? When Eva had the idea of making this film, we thought that we should ask a lot of hard questions. We should also
à ce sujet-là, n'étant pas kurde,
ensure that the film was really legitimate. So we did a huge amount of research work. We didn't want to fall into certain traps. We didn't want to make just a film for the cinema. We wanted something that was really rooted in reality. So Eva took up the task. She met a huge number of captives, religious leaders, go-betweens. She wanted to question everybody and talk a lot with women. And the women were very free in what they said. They really wanted to share their life story with us. When we met all these people, we realized that we had a true mission to accomplish. We realized the film would be very important for all these women and that we had to ensure we didn't make mistakes. Obviously, there are a huge number of documentaries on this topic, wonderful, incredible documentaries, but Eva wanted to make a film as a movie. Based on reality, but she wanted to make a film that went beyond just reality, that would portray the life history of these women. The film can, of course, speak to everybody beyond borders. Eva, did you want to add anything?
Oui. Moi, ce qui m'intéressait
what interested me
c'était d'avoir un socle, une fondation,
was to have really solid foundations for the film.
Et à partir du moment où je me sentais sûre,
once I felt absolutely sure I had these firm foundations, I thought I could then introduce a more subjective dimension. I believe in the magic of the cinema. You can enable the viewers to really travel, to experience something different. This is what I wanted to convey. That's why I changed the names of the places and the people. I'm not trying to be objective. It's not a documentary. It's not an historic documentary in any way. What I wanted to get across to the viewers was the way I felt about things. The cinema is a wonderful medium in this respect. The time frame isn't the same. The sensitivity isn't the same. It may not be my time frame or my sensitivity, but it's what I picked up when talking with these women and they're listening to their experience.
Il y a l'attente, il y a l'ennui, il y a les moments d'exaltation.
During war, there are times of exaltation, there are very boring times, there are times when you just wait around to see what's going to happen. It may be totally chaotic. Things are disorganized. Fiction is the ideal way to convey all this. A documentary could never have shown this. No woman would have risked her life to become a sex slave in order to write about it subsequently. There are, of course, men who report on what's happening in this part of the world, but for women it's totally impossible. So a film is the only access we have to this kind of thing. My film also talks about the need for women to be properly represented in the cinema. We have to, as women, tell the stories of other women. The cinema has been masculine for so very long. So there's virgin ground, virgin territory out there. There have been revolutionary women, quite extraordinary women throughout the times. And what we sense now, however, is a real releasing of the viewpoint of women. Women are raising their voices. It's a wonderful time in the history of the cinema. It's a riveting time in terms of women and diversity in more general terms. Our society is changing radically, so we have to ensure that this changing society is properly represented. Otherwise, we'll end up in a totally segregated way. You, we, all of us, when we talk together, when we read things, we have to look for the right histories, the right stories to portray. So let's look at the bright side of things and go about our work in this manner.
My name is Babak Afuri Azar from Radio Farda. My first question is Mrs. Farahani.
you mentioned in your previous that you played several times as a Kurdish girls in so many films, including the first one, Ashka Sarma. My question is that, do you find any relation when you play in this all of these movies between these different kind of Kurds, Iranian Kurds or Syrian Kurds? And is there any feeling inside you that when you play these roles, when you know that it's going to be for Iranian audiences or for other audiences, for example, in these last movies? And my second question with Mrs. Eva Hossein, is there any plan to show this movie in Iran, in Iraq, or in Syria, these targeted countries that it's very important for these movies and for others?
Golshifteh.
Oh.
Vous y avez un peu répondu déjà, mais...
Yeah, but I think I already say, like, I look at the characters that I play beyond borders. I don't see any separation. For me, borders, they don't really exist. And then for the Iranian audience are always gonna be there, and I will always be Iranian. It's something in me, and they're always looking. Of course, I always have them in the corner of my mind, and even in the bigger corner of my mind, because they are there, and I feel responsible for that too. It's a big part of me. But we cannot satisfy the audience. I don't look for the satisfaction of the audience, because this is where everyone can go wrong. I'm not here to satisfy anybody. I'm just here to be truthful for what I believe in, and so like that I can be truthful to the world.
Eva?
Sur la question...
So when it comes to whether this film will be shown in Syria, in Iran, in Iraq, I know that in Iraq, I have great confidence that it will be screened at the festival there. I'm not very familiar with the exhibition in Iran. I don't know whether the film will be taken up and shown in movie theaters. In Syria, I imagine they have other problems to tend to. Of course, if the film is screened there, it would be a huge victory. It would mean that people can go to the cinema. And Iran, forget it. And in Turkey, I'm sure the film won't be screened in Turkey either.
Monsieur?
Hello, I'm Amir Hashemi from Picture World Magazine, Iran. My question is for Ms. Farahani. First of all, congratulations on your great performance. And I wanted to ask you, in recent years, you have worked with many filmmakers, including some A-list directors. But before that, is there any specific qualities in a character that encourages you to actually choose that part and play the role?
Thank you. For me, I think every movie is like a marriage. So it's important. It's I really surf between different worlds, different languages, from like Pirates of the Caribbean Witch to Patterson in New Jersey to Girls of the Sun to Altamira, a Spanish woman, and that is what I wanted. That is what I was dreaming of. I think for me, a good script, because that is the base, that is the grain we want to plant, and then a good collaboration with a director, which can be our earth, that is going to be fertile, and we know that we're planting this grain in a fertile earth, and it's going to become a beautiful tree. We should first be sure what kind of grain we are planting. We cannot plant a walnut grain and expecting an orange tree. So the script is very important, and then this collaboration with directors, for me, it's one of the most beautiful things, and I think that's why I do cinema, because it's a world of creation, and it's amazing. And for me, that, and of course the message of the movie, I cannot be in the movies that I don't believe in, so I have been refusing so many parts, so many movies. I think that's it.
Madame, ça sera, je pense, la dernière question.
One very last question.
A question for Eva. You were speaking then about we're seeing far more female stories represented on the screen, which is fantastic. How important is the Me Too movement? We saw you on the red carpet yesterday. Is that kind of going to provide the solutions that we're all sort of hoping that it will? How can we make sure it does? And a film like this that was beautiful but harrowing, what impact do you hope and can that have?
I think the Me Too movement is vital. I think it's something that us women have known for such a long time, and it was just not okay to discuss in public, and our experiences were invalidated, and suddenly we just came out all together at the same time, and suddenly it became valid, and so I'm in awe of the strength of every single woman who's come forward. And to be very honest with you, I wish France was more progressive on that level. I think France is an old lady who thinks herself witty and very eccentric and who's very conservative. I'm mouth wide open by the fact that there's not a single story that truly came out in France. And I just encourage French journalists to please do the same kind of investigation that American journalists did, like Ron Farrow in The New Yorker and The New York Times. Journalism is key. You guys are so important. You're the key to this information. I hear everyday names that actresses and people drop in my ear about such and such man who did that, and everybody knows, but it's not in the papers. And the second it's not in the papers, it's not public. And then French women, there is such timidity on the subject in France. Everybody will tell you that it's sort of fine here and it's not as bad, but believe me, we're not exempt of what's happening. And I just hope the word of women is going to be liberated as well. And I just hope it's the beginning of something. I hope we're going to get inspired by the courage of our American sisters and the English ones as well. So what do I hope that this movie achieve in terms of echo? I hope it encourages other women to tell their own stories. It's a big house, and we all need to put a brick. And we can't, nobody can do it by herself. We just need to be in there all together, men, women. We're going to be a better society when we understand that together.
And I just add something to what Eva said, because it triggers me. And also, I think in France, we don't choose Donald Trump as our president, so I think it has something to play with. I think the Puritanism that exists in America, it doesn't exist the same as it exists in Europe, I would say. So I think there are some things that are different between this society and that society. I think because sometimes feeling guilty can lead into some reactions. I just wanted to add that to this.
Emmanuel, c'est vous qui avez le mot de la fin dans le film.
You speak the last words at the end of the film. Le film se termine
par voilà ce qu'elles sont ces femmes kurdes, ce chant puissant que nous attendions, nous les femmes, un chant qui nous appelle à nous lever, un espoir qui défie la condition humaine.
And challenge the human
condition.
Could you say that these are words you could have said yourself? Absolutely. We do have certain differences, Emmanuel and I.
Mais bon.
Eva, vous vouliez rajouter quelque chose?
Eva, do you want to add anything?
Vous y avez répondu dans...
Non, je veux rajouter quelque chose.
I would like to add something.
Je vais le dire en anglais.
I'll say it in English.
I think, because I'm going to say it in English because it's not just about France. I think we all need to understand that as long as the people who make decisions, the decision makers, as long as they're not as diverse as our society is, we're not going to see change. People who give money are the people who have the keys to the doors. So I want to see more women, at the boards. I want to see more women who finance movies. Please, ladies, you have things to do, and if you have money, just put it in your mouth and go for it. Finance art, finance movies, finance books. It's essential. So that's.
Merci. J'espère que votre message sera entendu.
I hope your message will be heard.
Merci à vous.
Thank you very much.
Merci, messieurs, dames.